Hi guys, this is Cristian speaking. For this last week assignment, I'll be comparing the graphical user interfaces of 4 different software synthesizers. This is Subtractor, a polyphonic synthesizer based on subtractive synthesis. Here is the oscillator section. Subtractor has 2 oscillators as main sound generators with several waveforms to choose from. On the top right corner lies the dual filter section and the amplifier section as well. Here we've got 3 envelope generators that can be used to adjust how the volume, the filter frequency, or even some other parameters of the sound should change from the time you press a key until that key is released, therefore sculpting the sound's basic shape. Here we can see the LFOs that allow to select different waveforms for modulating parameters like oscillator pitch, filter frequency, and so on. This is the graphical interface of Massive. And on the left hand we have the oscillation section where you can select a wavetable for each oscillator and then tweak the controls to modify the sound. Then we can see the filter section in the middle of the interface, comprised by 2 filter buses to shape the sound, either working in serial, that means that the second filter takes the first filter's output signal as its input signal, or in parallel mode, meaning that both filters process the signal at the same time. Then on the top right of the screen we can see the amplification section. Then we've got a section that changes its content depending on the upper tab selected. We can then select tabs 1 to 4 to change the parameters of the different envelopes of the synth, tabs 5 or 6 if we want to change the different LFOs, and so on. ESP is an easy-to-handle polyphonic synthesizer based on 80s Japanese synthesizers. This is the oscillator section. There are 5 faders that allow to mix several waveforms and a 6th fader that allows to add some white noise to the mix as well in case we want to. The filtering section of this synth is very simple, a low-pass filter with 2 parameters, cutoff frequency and resonance. Here we can see the amplifier section of the synth and the control panel for the envelope section as well. And what happened with LFOs? Well, on this control panel, on this synth in fact, there isn't a proper LFO section. But in fact, these vibrator wah controls are some kind of simple LFOs. The vibrator control is nothing but a low-frequency oscillator modulating oscillator frequency, while in wah effect, the LFO modulates the cutoff frequency of a low-pass dynamic filter. This is Zebra 2, a modular synth that features high flexibility and low CPU usage. On the left hand we can see the generators pane that contains control panels for each active module in the main grid, such as oscillators and filters. Down in the middle we can see the main grid that shows us the way those modules are connected between them. And finally at the right side we can see the modulators pane that contains all envelopes and LFOs in use. At the bottom of the screen you can see a bar that has several tabs on it. Each one of these tabs switches the contents of the lower pane, allowing to edit different parameters within the synth. Being a modular synth, the main grid shows the way the different modules are connected. In this example we can see that the oscillator is then connected to a comb filter. We have selected OSC1 tab on the lower bar that revealed the extra parameters and the wave shape editor for the oscillator we're currently using at the bottom of the interface. Here we can see that each module has its own amplifier section in the lower pane. 2 parameters that allow us to draw the volume of the sound and the way it develops over time. One of them, key to gain, will be used for oscillator volume scaling according to a MIDI note. The second one, vel to gain, will be used for level scaling according to velocity. Most synthesizer interfaces tend to share some common traits in the order they display their different sections, most of the times following the signal path. And this brings me to the conclusion of this assignment. I hope this video has been useful for you in getting used to some of the different graphic interfaces you may come across when dealing with software synthesizers. Thank you for your time. Bye!